So sadly it seems that the upcoming Mary Poppins attraction and a few other Epcot projects might have gone to the place where the lost things go. But let's dive into all of that up next. Hi there Waltoners, I'm Jack and this is of course DSY Newscast, and before we get started for today, just a very quick message, as if you're interested in picking up one of these Hamilton Mary Poppins Returns inspired crossover shirts, then they're actually available over on the dsmyshop.com or on the Etsy store, which I'll put a link to down below in the description box, and it's a great way to help support the channel and pick up a cool t-shirt. But anyways, enough of that, now let's get straight into the video. As ever since 2017, here on this channel, we've been tracking the complex on-again, off-again nature of the proposed plans within Imagineering for a Mary Poppins attraction to come to Epcot. But then at D23 Expo last August, Disney CEO Bob Chapek announced that the first ever Mary Poppins attraction in the history of the Disney parks was finally going to come to the UK Pavilion, where we would be able to step in time down Cherry Tree Lane, past Admiral Boom's house, and enter the iconic number 17, the Banks family home, where our adventure would begin. And in addition to that description, we received these two pieces of concept art, with the first piece illustrating the Emily Blunt version of Mary Poppins and Jack the Lamplighter, and the second being an unreleased piece of concept art that gave a greater view of the scale of this project's theming within the UK Pavilion, as that, in my opinion, was the most impressive part, as this new addition would give us all the chance to finally step through the silver screen and walk down that famous Cherry Tree Lane. But then after that announcement, we received no new official information about this project until yesterday, when guests at the reopening day of Epcot noticed that two segments had been cut out of the Epcot Experience Centre show, with one being for the Spaceship Earth revamp, and the other being the Mary Poppins attraction at the UK Pavilion. But that alone wasn't enough to say what had happened to this project. But then Disney gave official confirmation with this statement saying that they were further evaluating long-term project plans, and the decision was made to postpone the development of the Mary Poppins inspired attraction and the Spaceship Earth revamp at this time. Now personally, with Mary Poppins being in my top 5 all-time favourite Disney movies, it would be an understatement to say that I'm gutted at this decision. But then again, it's not as if this news wasn't to be expected. As once the initial park closures were announced because of a pandemic in March, I did a video on April 3rd with an in-depth analysis of what the pause on construction meant for all of these current Disney park projects. And as I stated then, the fact that the Mary Poppins project was still yet to break ground on construction, it made it almost a certainty that it would be cut altogether, as only research and development costs would be lost, thus meaning that Disney could save on the construction expenditure. Now of course, the wording of this statement says that this project is postponed and under evaluation, which is different from saying that it's definitely cancelled. But we only have to look back to February of 2018 when Disney made a similar statement regarding the Main Street Theatre project that was announced at D23 Expo in 2017, only for Disney to state the following year that it had been indefinitely postponed. So in many ways, when Disney says something is postponed, it's their way of saying that it's cancelled for now. But as we know, no idea ever really goes away forever within Imagineering, and we might see this project return at a later date, and maybe it'll be more than the basic spinner flat ride that we were expecting from this project that was meant to be sort of an elaborate carousel of teacups with 360-degree projection mapped walls. And instead, if this project is eventually brought back one day in the future, perhaps this attraction will get an innovative ride system that it so deserves, as after all, in the spirit of Mary Poppins,
everything is possible, even the impossible.
But that's not where this Epcot news story ends for today. As I had previously reported on March 10th, that Spaceship Earth's big overhaul project had been scaled back significantly through budget reductions. And then on June 21st, Disney Parks blog announced that Spaceship Earth would not be closing on May 26th after all, and instead would reopen with Epcot in its current form, as the beginning of the revamp had been delayed to begin at a later date. But from all indications, it does seem that there will eventually be some sort of project for Spaceship Earth, as it's only been delayed and not cancelled, as at the bare minimum, it needs an extensive refurbishment, although that will most likely take place once the economics for Disney begins to return to their normal level. But then we come to the other really big thing, and that is at the Epcot Experience Centre, which is an area to preview the multi-year transformation of Epcot, the new multi-level futuristic festival building that was announced last year, which was touted to be a new icon for Epcot, was nowhere to be found, with cast members stating that the display case had been moved to accommodate physical distancing. However, since then, Disney has released yet another statement saying they were taking a different approach to the previously announced new festival centre, and work will resume on the World Celebration neighbourhood, but there will be changes to the new festival building. So this poses big questions about the fate of a future world overhaul into World Celebration, as it's no great secret that Epcot is in a bit of a difficult dilemma right now, with a ton of active demolition and construction underway right in the centre of the park, with Disney having demolished and resurfaced over the Fountain of Nations, and have also partially demolished the southwest quadrant of Innoventions. So it's going to be interesting to see how Disney plans to resolve the maze of unsightly construction walls ahead of the 50th anniversary celebrations. But there is one part of the World Celebration overhaul that still seems to be going ahead as planned, and that is the Moana Journey of Water walkthrough experience, as that segment has not been cut from the Epcot Experience Centre preview film. Which isn't exactly surprising, as despite it being tied to a popular IP, it is essentially a walk-through water feature play area, and thus it's relatively inexpensive to complete. But for the Moana walkthrough to be completed in its current position in the concept art, it's going to require the demolition of the rest of Innoventions West. So I reckon what we're likely to see is that World Celebration will be a lot of elaborate and beautiful landscaping, combined with many more festival booths scattered throughout, with the possibility of adding a new festival building at a later stage. But hopefully, at the very least, we're likely to get some form of the Dreamers Point area with the new Walt Disney statue. And who knows, maybe this delay and new budget restrictions is sort of a blessing in disguise, as former Disney CEO Michael Eisner stated that sometimes tighter budgets can generate more creativity, which might allow the Imagineers to go back to the drawing board and rework the plans so that the transformation is completed over phases, and we still receive an end product more befitting of the grandeur of Epcot. But now, it's over to you, the Waltoneers, as I would like to know your thoughts and opinions regarding this Mary Poppins attraction news, and also the news regarding World Celebration. And if it was up to you, what would you like to see Disney do with the massive construction zone right in the centre of Future World to salvage the project and make it workable in the near future? And of course, don't forget to put the timestamp for where the hidden Mickey appeared somewhere within this video, along with your suggestion or your comment, to be on the chance to win one of these official DSNY Newscast enamel pins. And congratulations to this Waltoneer here for winning this suggestion from a previous video where we're talking all about the cancellation of the rumoured new nighttime parade for the 50th anniversary. And so that's it for today, so be sure to go ahead and subscribe down below if you're new to this channel, hit that notification icon, and usually I say if you enjoyed today's video, but to be honest, how can you enjoy the fact that certain projects are being cancelled? So I'm just going to say it would be greatly appreciated if you can give this video a massive thumbs up, and I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.